Right now on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock, a fallen officer will be laid to rest on Friday. How you can honor Arvada police officer Dylan Vakoff and what's next for his accused shooter.
The ongoing teacher shortage is worse in some parts of Colorado than others. We'll look at a program that hopes to recruit new teachers by paying them while they go to school.
You know, looking back at it, we definitely should have gone for it.
Hindsight is 2020. How Broncos head coach Nathaniel Hackett is feeling today after going for that 64-yard game-winning field goal Monday night.
Okay.
That's a big decision to make for a head coach in his first ever
Does
game.
it inspire confidence to have a coach who sort of second guesses himself later on or looks back or
Live
or
and
do
you learn,
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't know.
You know,
Okay.
I'm sure the situation will come up again at some point this season. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. Lisa, we are already looking ahead to Sunday's game, but heading out today, going to be another warm one.
You know, Jason does it every morning. He says something that he wishes he could take back immediately. Don't you, Jace?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're all human here, yeah.
Take a look at our out the door forecast. You're right. Yeah, looking ahead to the weekend, it's going to be pretty warm. Today is actually going to be one of the coolest days here on our Super 7 day. Low to mid 60s at about 8 o'clock. We'll be in the low to mid 70s by 11. So a lot cooler today compared to yesterday. A nice little change for us here through midweek. We'll hit highs right around 80 in Denver, upper 70s near Fort Collins, more 60s for the mountains. As of right now, we're picking up a few showers out on the western slope, and you can see where we have quite a bit more cloud cover here. So it's going to be a nice break from the bright drive this morning. Coming up here in a few minutes, we'll take a closer look at Futurecast and those showers that will develop here this afternoon. Tomorrow, Jason, another chance for some afternoon thunderstorms. So the timing on both of these days coming up.
Any day could be my last, honestly. Right now we have a new crash coming in out to the east side of town. This is the closest camera. Unfortunately, some of the cameras between here at Quebec over to 225 are not working. So this is the eastbound side. We're looking to the west. That would be westbound I-70 heading for Colorado Boulevard. And it all looks normal here. Take a look, though, at the map. We do have a new problem coming in. Not only do we have the overnight construction from Peoria over here to almost Chambers, but now there's a new wreck reported right before the start of that little construction area right here at Peoria. That's going to bring out the rescue squads. We're going to see some slower traffic, a couple extra minutes. Right now, the drive time about 3 to 5 minutes longer than the westbound side, so you are going to see that get a little bit longer here with that new crash reported. The west side of I-70 is still dealing with that overnight construction as they're picking up the cones right now.
Well, the Arvada police officer killed in the line of duty early Sunday morning will be laid to rest on Friday. The city says Dylan Vakoff's memorial service is open to the public. It's scheduled for 10 a.m. at Flatirons Community Church off South Boulder Road in Lafayette. Donations for Vakoff's family are being accepted through the Colorado Fallen Hero Foundation. We have a link to that on denver7.com.
And Friday will be a tough day for the whole community and law enforcement, especially as we continue to mourn the loss of the officer. The accused shooter is in court today.
Attorney and Denver 7 reporter Jessica Crawford is at the Jefferson County Justice Complex this morning with the next steps in this case. Jessica.
That's right. So first, let's take a look back. Almanza was expected to be here in court yesterday, but he instead was at the hospital. So he's since been released to Jefferson County, and he is expected and hoped to be in court for this morning. And again, we are talking about 31-year-old Sonny Thomas Almanza. He's accused of being involved in the exchange of gunfire that ended the life of Officer Vakoff on West 51st Avenue near the intersection with Marshall Street. And he does face a slew of charges, from possession of a weapon by a previous offender to first-degree murder of a peace officer with extreme indifference. Almanza has not been to court yet, but the first time he appears would be called a first advisement. And during the first advisement, there's a short hearing while the judge will talk to Almanza about the charges that he's facing and his rights. Defendants are also connected with court-appointed lawyers at that time if they're needed. Plus, the judge sets bond at that time as well. So here's how bond works in Colorado. Being able to bond out is generally possible here if a person is charged with a capital offense, though, and if there is proof of evidence or presumption is great, then the defendant could be held without bond, and that could be the case here because Almanza is accused of a capital offense. He is accused of first-degree murder, so there is a chance that he will not be able to make bond because of the seriousness of that offense, and it's definitely something that has touched the hearts of so many. In fact, for Officer Vakoff's memorial, which is set to take place on Friday, they are expecting up to 5,000 people to attend. I'm Jessica Crawford, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Jessica. Well, an East High School student shot just steps away from his school a week ago has a long road to recovery. In a Denver 7 exclusive, we talked to the family of R.J. Harding. His mother says he has already had 2 surgeries to remove the bullet and its fragments. She says he'll have another surgery next week to reconstruct his jaw.
I'm happy that this hasn't broken my son's spirit. He's a boxer. He still wants to box. He still wants to come to this same school.
Well, we know that RJ is aware of what happened that day. He wrote a letter to Shelly Martinez thanking her for saving his life. We told you about this last week. Martinez was working at a barber shop near East High School when she heard the shots and ran to help the boy and tend to his injuries. Police say the 14-year-old was an innocent bystander in a fight that escalated, leading to those shots being fired. So far, no arrests have been made.
Well, there might be a new way to catch potential mass shooters before they carry out their attacks using credit card codes. ABC News reports in recent years, gun reform advocates and lawmakers have put a call to action on credit card companies and banks to increase their tracking and reporting of unusual purchase activity tied to firearms specifically. And now there are plans from Visa, MasterCard, and American Express to use a specific code for categorizing credit and debit card purchases made at gun stores. Until now, gun stores use the same codes as sporting goods stores. Credit card companies are still working on parameters for how to best track those purchases.
New numbers this morning are giving us a better picture of the teacher shortage in Colorado and affecting the entire country, really. It may not be as dire as you thought. In a survey of 900 school superintendents last month, 78%, the vast majority, said their teacher vacancy rate was less than 5%. 14% said up to 10% of their positions are unfilled, but only a small number, 1.4%, said they had a teacher vacancy rate as high as 20%. It's still concerning because almost all of the schools surveyed said the biggest problem driving the teacher shortage is simply not enough applicants. So when I found out a local college just got millions of dollars to help train new teachers, I had a few questions. I found out CU Denver has decided to spend $7 million in federal grant money specifically to bring more teachers to Colorado's rural communities. The school, CU Denver, will partner with community colleges to offer prospective teachers paid internships, stipends, and other supports while they earn their degrees.
Does it solve all the problems of the rural teacher shortage? I wonder, might some of these teachers go through the training and then decide I'm going to move to a district that pays better?
We don't have a lot of data yet, but anecdotally and the stories that we hear, we know that our candidates get hired right back into that district. I'm sure a few of them will leave. We want everyone to have options, but the deep roots that most of our candidates have in the district really keeps them there. There are generations of family there.
Yeah, rural Colorado has struggled with teacher shortages for years, often because the pay in those districts can be much lower than urban districts.
A school in Thornton is getting ready to build a state-of-the-art STEM and career and technical education center today. It's the official groundbreaking at Riverdale Ridge High School. Take a look here. The 27J district is building STEM and CTE centers at 3 high schools thanks to a voter-approved bond. Riverdale Ridge will include a culinary lab, small engine program, graphic design, certified nursing assistance program, welding, and more. And it should open next year.
The Broncos are turning their attention now to the home opener on Sunday against the Texans.
Yes, that's right. All eyes ahead now. But head coach Nathaniel Hackett says he does have a little bit of regret from last Monday on his decision to try for a 64-yard field goal at the end of the game, which would have won it.
You know, looking back at it, we definitely should have gone for it. You know, one of those things, you look back at it and you say, of course we should go for it. We missed the field goal. I'm more upset about that play before it, to lose yards, to be able to, you know, getting that there would have definitely been better to be able to call that same play and get extra yards. We were expecting to go for it on 4th down, and then you hit the mark.
Yeah, kicker Brandon McManus actually says he was confident he could make it from that distance. It looked like he had the leg, just was off a little bit to the left. But only 2 kickers in NFL history have done it. One is actually a former Broncos kicker, Matt Prater, back in 2013. The Ravens' Justin Tucker is the other. But the odds were not in his favor for making the kick.
You never know. The
Yeah,
other
you never
play
know.
could have not won it either. So, yeah. Exactly. Lisa, hopefully it doesn't come down to that close.
Yeah, but that's why they make the big bucks,
Yeah,
right? You got to make those tough decisions. Early this morning, we're going to be in the 60s at the bus stop. Pretty mild early on. Partly sunny skies. We do have more cloud cover out there. We'll be in the mid to upper 70s by the time your kids get home. Scattered storms and showers. They may want a sweatshirt early this morning. We'll take a closer look at the timing of our rain today coming up.
And right now, the one problem we have is out to the east side of town. Not only do we have some overnight construction still lingering out here around Chambers and 225, but also a new wreck on that eastbound side of I-70 right by Peoria. So double trouble in there with a couple extra minutes on that trip out here towards Tower Road and Pena Boulevard.
Taking a live look at London now, where Queen Elizabeth II is about to lie in state for the next several days. We'll tell you how long the line of people wanting to pay their respects is expected to stretch.
Colorado marijuana sales are down to a new low, in fact. What's causing this flip after record highs during the pandemic?